So in Pro Tools, I'm checking my nudge value first. 500 milliseconds looks good. Um, and then what I'm going to do is open Quickeys, open the specific shortcut I'd like to show you today. And the first thing I'm going to do is check to make sure that the scope is limited to Pro Tools and not some other application. So it's Pro Tools, we're good. And I've got 3 keys here. So the first one, hotkey is sticky, that's good. Second one, I'm going to press 4, also hotkey, and 5, that's my trigger. So when I release the 5, everything's going to be set in motion. So these minus signs are showing that currently these are all grouped. If I hit the minus sign, they'd be disjointed and you'd have to press them in sequence, but this kind of links everything together. So I go to user actions, and this is going to be typing of keystrokes. And so you'll see I've got 1 over there. If I scroll down, you'll see it's kind of a long one. I think I have 15 steps, 16 steps. Okay, yeah. So I got 16 steps right now. And what this essentially allows me to do is tab to the next transient, create a snip, and then create a fade. So you'll notice I opened the pause thing there for a second. Sometimes these keys are happening so fast, or the keystrokes are happening so fast when they're automated that you can mess with your process. So every once in a while, it's good to just put a pause in there so it can kind of think about what it's doing and not trying to do everything simultaneously. Okay, so let's give this a whirl. We're going to move back into Pro Tools. You got to close that shortcut or it won't be active. So I've saved it. I'm back in Pro Tools, and let's see, we're on the grid. All right, here we go. Let's give it a whirl and see what it does. Yeah, look at that. Already to the next transient. Let's hit it again. All right, let's hit it again. Oh, so good. So much easier. If I zoom out, you can see that there's a little bit more coming, but yeah, all I got to do is hit that quick key now, and my macro self is very happy, and this is going to take me a lot less time than if I was clicking and trying to yeah, really get tight on these parameters. Granted, you might need to nudge some of these things over and mess with the fades a little bit if you've not been completely uniform. We're not robots, so account for human error. But for the most part, if you're going to be doing something that's fairly repetitive, then a macro like this can be really, really, really effective to help save you some time. So I'll just tell you, I'm no power user. I have to kind of go through and really think about these keystrokes. There's other people like Tim Davies, fantastic orchestrator, who's done some really clever things with a program called Touch OSC in conjunction with Quickeys. And what he's been able to do is, instead of creating shortcuts within Quickeys just for like keystrokes, he can map a number of different functions to buttons that he's created that are displayed on like an iPad. So whether he's in Cubase or whether he's orchestrating in Finale, he can hit one key and a whole series of processes will be triggered. So I'm sure there's lots of other things that you can do with this. I'm still experimenting myself. There may be some power users out there, but if you're out there and you want to start sharing some of the knowledge that's speeding up your workflow, like drop me a line, feel free to comment, and have a good one. Keep writing, guys.